Hey, thanks for watching. This is a tutorial video on ProPresenter. ProPresenter is what we use here at The Rock to do all of our playback as far as videos, lyrics, anything that we want to put on the screen, scripture verses, things like that. We use ProPresenter to do it. So to give you a rundown of this software, I just want you to be familiar with what all of the buttons do, all the features do that we use. That way, just in case you have to make a change on a Sunday or whenever you're running ProPresenter, you'll know how to do that. Now, the best way that I've found to teach ProPresenter is to just go through each one of these windows and fields so that you can kind of see what they do, what's there, and then you're able to know what to do in case you have to change something. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to kind of run through each one of these areas, talk about it, and then you'll learn how to use the software. So basically, in this top left-hand corner here, you've got what's the program feed. Basically, what's going to be sent to the screen is in this window right here. So you can see what's happening on the screen happens in this window. Now you're able to actually do some controls here. If you hit pause, it can pause whatever's being played at the moment, or if you want to skip to the end of it, start it over, whatever, you can do that all right here through these controls. So next window right here, the library window, is where all of the documents that are used in ProPresenter appear. So when you click on something here, it's going to show up in this window right here. This would be your preview window. So this is what you're able to click on and send to program before it actually goes to program. So that's what that is. Next, down here, you've got a playlist feature, and this is just very similar to any kind of playlist that you're used to seeing, like in iTunes. You can create a new one down here, new playlist, and so you can actually take any kind of file that you want and drag and drop it into this playlist. So I can quickly build a playlist of what's going to be going on in my service right here. These can actually be categorized, so if you wanted to drop your tutorial into this new group up here, you can, and now it's right there. And so here's all the items. So I can click through these one at a time and they'll show up, or you can click on contiguous, if I said that right, and then you're able to actually scroll through and see everything that's in your lineup. I personally hate that feature because I like to be able to just scroll to the bottom and then be able to see the last thing that's in my slide, and I hate when it jumps me all the way through. But if you prefer that, when you're running, go for it. You can't make changes to all the sizes of these boxes just by dragging when you get to the corners. So you can actually drag this in and out so you fit this however you want. All of these screens adjust, which is nice. So then the next screen is this main screen that's right here in the middle, and we'll spend some time here teaching you how to use this. Basically, you've got all these slides, and it's just as simple as clicking on a slide and it will fire it. It'll go to the program and that sends it out. So when you're following through on a song, you can just click through. You can also hit the arrow key and go left and right so that we can follow you. You can follow along that way as well. Now within this window, you can make changes to the slides that are here. The easiest way to do that is to right click and then do quick edit. It's going to pull up a window here, and you can actually click anywhere within this. Let's say somebody entered this and they spelt because wrong. You can come in, make your changes, and then the only catch is you have to hit this little X in the top corner. If I click anywhere else, well, it's still going to fire those, but it's not going to exit out of this until I hit the X button. When I do that, now my misspelled word has been corrected and I'm ready to go. The other things that you can do here, you can edit this slide. So this pulls up a larger editor. So let's say that you wanted to change the size of fonts, or if you wanted to change another feature, just like in a normal word editor, you could change the font that you're using. So I could change this. Why I'd want to do that, I don't know. But if you wanted to make that different, you could. If you wanted to change all of it at the same time, you can do it like that. And then you just make normal changes. So if you want to make the outline bigger, if you want to space the letters out more, that looks amazing. Or if you wanted to spread them out higher or lower, whatever you want to do, you can do all that here. Then this next window right here gives you options. So like if you wanted to put a line around the outside of this text box, you can do that. If you wanted to fill it, you could do that. Just make all kinds of changes. Here's a shadow. So you can put a shadow on the words that you're using there. The best way to figure out what a lot of these features do is to just play with them. Click on it, see what that does. What do I do to change all kinds of things in here, and just make those changes. Once you're done editing here, you actually have to hit the X button, similar to the quick edit, but that gets you out, and then you're ready to go back to your regular screen. So whatever changes you made would now be there. This little icon right there just tells me that the size of my current slides don't match my output, and they can change that for you. So you can just update the slides automatically and they'll fit. This button right here has to do with arrangements. So if you wanted to do your own arrangement, you could actually come in here and create a new arrangement and give it a title. We'll call this Jimmy's Mix. And then you can actually come in and say, okay, I'm going to do the verse, the chorus, verse 1 again, then verse 1 again, then I'm going to do the chorus twice. So you can keep adding things in here. And then the next time you use the song, so here's the master, I just say, okay, let's go to Jimmy's Mix, and then bam, there it is. Automatically put everything that you needed right in there. So that's what this little arrangement button does. This button here allows you to change transitions, and I highly recommend you always just use dissolve or just use the default. I think that's the best. I think Renewed Vision kind of caved and gave all these different transitions for people to use, because I'm sure it gets requested a lot, but all of these are terrible, so just don't use them. At the bottom of the screen, if you needed to add a slide, you could do that simply by hitting the plus symbol, and there it goes. It added a slide to that chorus. You can come in here. We've got a number of templates set up, so if you wanted to go ahead and set up a template for your new slide, you can do that. And so what it's going to do is, if I come in and do yellow, it's just going to add a new slide in here and then make that arrangement happen. So I'm just going to back out of that so that I'm not messing up my slide. So the next thing that you can do here, right here, is the default transition for all of these. There are a million of these. Like I said, I wouldn't use any of these, but you could. If you wanted it to flip like that, I guess maybe that would be cool somewhere, but I think it looks awful. I would just use the dissolve. But you can, in the same dialog box, change how long it takes to dissolve. So if I wanted this to take 2.3 seconds and I wanted to flip, this will be amazing. Watch this. 3.5 seconds and flip. That's amazing. Don't ever do that. Let's drop it. I try to drop it real low because a lot of times you might get behind or something, and so you just want to, sometimes I just like it to just happen instantly. So I drop it all the way out and my slides just change over. I think that's less distracting. But anyway, so that's all that happens in that window right there. Over here, you can change the thumbnail view. So if you want this view or if you want that view, whichever you prefer, and you can change how big or how small those are. So we want to make them a little bit bigger than that. We want to make this a lot bigger now. So you can do whatever feels good to you. We're going to put mine somewhere right in there. Now, in this bottom window, the video image bin is basically just like any of these other ones. You've got playlists, in essence, that you could do. Here's background, so this will actually play behind your lyrics, and then anything that you drop in foreground will play in front of lyrics. So this is on the top, think top and bottom, basically like that. And then they've got other playlists that you could do. So here's a playlist we did for Easter a couple years ago. One I called Sunday. We did an event called One Life. It's just backgrounds that I did for all of that specifically. And then down in here, you can do the same thing. You can create a new place, a new hot folder, which I think means that if you drop anything in there, it's automatically going to be added. And then you can make a group folder if you wanted to shove things in. If you wanted to add a new background to your little bin there, you can do that. Just click that and it's going to add that right into there. So it added that in there wherever that was, maybe right here. And then you can do the same thing. You can transition all of these. If you wanted the door, you could do that and then watch how it, man, that was beautiful. Let's do the swap. Oh, here comes a swap. Whoop. And we swap. That's like old school transparencies right there. And swap it out. So, but anyways, I would just always leave it on dissolve. And again, you can change your duration there and then you're done. So same thing. You can change this, change that, make these bigger or smaller for your older folks who can't see very good. Make it bigger for them. At the top, you've got all kinds of icons that you can use. Clear all just basically does what it says. You hit it and it that was amazing. We got the swoop out. I don't know how we got the swoop out, but we just dissolved everything. And so you hit that button and it's going to clear it all out for you. That's great. Next button is if you have slides on the screen and a background. If you click slides, it'll just take off the foreground. So bam, the foreground's gone. Props, if you have any props, we don't really use them a lot, but that's basically what it does right there. If you wanted to put a sting, I think they call it a sting. I don't know what they call it, just a little logo, then this prop is actually going to stay on the screen no matter what you put behind it. So that could be good and bad. So right there, there's kind of like some overlay and that looks awful. But you just come back in here and you clear those out. And so this could instantly give you kind of like, say you've got a countdown video or something in the background, then you could throw your little logo on it and it makes it look custom and you didn't really do anything. So props, there's a clear button for the props. Backgrounds is just what it says. If you want to clear the background and leave the words up, you can do that. If you purchased any Bibles through ProPresenter, they're going to be available here. So we've got 3 versions, NIV, New King James, New Living. And those can come up here. That's pretty neat. You just find a chapter and verse that you want. You want to do 1 Kings 1 through 53. No, I just want 1 through 2. There you go. It pulls up. And then they've got a lot of references here. You can put the verse reference on each one. On the passage, you can do on the last one, or you can do no reference at all. And you can choose to not even display the translation. So you could just say 1 Kings, deal with it, figure out what it is. Catch to this one right here, you have to hit the X button just like on the other things to get out of it. And then you can do a couple cool things here. You can save what you just created as a document, and it's going to pop up over here. You can drag that into your playlist. Or you can copy it to your current one. So let's say for some reason at the end of this Every Time song, I wanted to add the scripture verse. So King David was now very old. For some reason you wanted to add that. You could copy that to the current document. And then when you X out, there it was. King David was now very old, is now part of the chorus on this song Every Time. So that's pretty neat. So Bibles, that's pretty much all you can do with Bibles. Next up is Song Select. So if you subscribe to Song Select, if you have your CCLI license and you subscribe to Song Select, then you can they've created a real easy way to streamline that. So you could search for the newest favorite song, whatever that might be, and you type that. Oh, I'm not on the internet right now, but that's really going to mess me up. But anyways, you can type a song into this. It will pull it up. Yeah, there you go. It'll pull up the song. You can actually click on it, and then it'll show you lyrics. And then here you can import that directly into your library. You can even import it directly into your playlist. So that's pretty neat how that works. And then messages, if you use any on-screen messages, you can actually put a message right on the screen here. That's nicely centered. And so if you're using this to alert parents if they need to come to the nursery, you can do that. And you can also do countdowns if you wanted. You could put a countdown that's really nicely located, but you can actually do a countdown here. You can restart those and do all kinds of cool stuff with countdowns. We don't really do a lot other than call parents. And there's some features in there that you can play with. You can choose templates. So let's come back to my message, and then I can actually edit this template. And so I could choose where I want that to be and move that around. You can choose to automatically hide it. And once again, you can choose, this would be amazing when you're calling a parent. You could say, we're going to use the bottom right and show that message. There it is, parent 761, come on down. So, but anyways, so that's how you could do that. We're going to hide that now. Whoop, and it's gone. Anyways, you're probably not laughing as much as I am. There's a Twitter feature, which I really like a lot. We don't have internet on this computer right now, so I can't show you all of this. But you can actually search for a certain hashtag. We do this at our Easter service each year. So last year it was Easter Convo 2014 or something like that. And you could search for that. I've created a little template that I made here, and it actually will pull in the user's picture, their screen name, and then their message goes in this place right here. And then you get to choose. It'll show you a list of what's come up here, and then you can approve them. It comes on this side, and then you can cycle through this. And so you can change the duration of that. It'll go 7-8 seconds, whatever. You hit play on that and it'll start scrolling through. I really like the Twitter feature. Video image, you can bring that up and down. If you're the one setting up ProPresenter each week and you want to limit the slides that people have, you could at least easily drag the slide that you want or the background image that you want and then hit that button, and then the person running slides would only be able to use the pre-approved backgrounds if you're having that issue. You can clear the audio, and then if you have a logo loaded, you can this is just like a shortcut button, I guess, to any kind of image or video that you want to play on the fly. You can go there, which is nice. You can format stuff on the fly as well. So let's say that you wanted to move all of your text to the top. You can do that, hit apply all, and it'll roll through. So I can do things on the fly if I want. I don't know why you'd ever want to do some of these things, but you can. And that applies to everything that you've got there. So that's nice. Templates are pre-set up templates that you can use for formatting files quickly. So we do impact on all of our slides. It's just a fat, thick font that I think is easy to read. And so I pre-set up a template that is impact font, has a outline around it. I like the thickness on it, and a gentle kind of shadow behind it to make it just stand out. In case you've got some kind of a bright background like that, you can do that. So that's what the template does. And then this output here just turns the output on and off. So I don't have an external monitor hooked up to this right now, so that's why it says that. And an overall volume. Just a little tip, I highly recommend not messing with this because it could really mess you up in the middle of service if someone's trying to kill the audio on a video and they try to use this button right here. It could mess you up when you go to play back something later on. So I definitely recommend right-clicking on your video, going into media properties, and then from in here you can mute the volume for a particular video. So that basically gets you through how to run ProPresenter. I'll save some other of the things that you can do, like what you can do here with media properties. You can do a lot of cool stuff with changing the colors and different things in that. I'll save that for another video, but at least for now you know what you need to do to be able to edit a slide, add a slide, change a playlist, add something into a playlist, all of those things. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.